So, why does the infamous Bradford pear tree suck? So, what is a Bradford pear tree? A Bradford pear tree is native to China and Vietnam. It has beautiful white flowers that bloom in the spring. Containing about 5 petals per flower, it has grayish green bark with oval-shaped leaves that are around 2 to 3 inches in diameter. The leaves are glossy green that's kind of like emerald. It's very pretty looking sometimes. It lives around 15 to 25 years, which is pretty short compared to other trees, and Bradford pear trees can grow to about 30 feet tall, which is pretty fast compared to other trees. So you can see that there's some flowers on the top right corner, and then below that are the leaves, very nice green looking, and then next to that on this left is a picture of the bark. So Bradford pear trees have been planted out throughout the U.S. in places like parks, lawns, in front of schools, and other public areas, even down down streets and roads. The trees are pretty fast growing and resistant to disease too. And birds like to eat the fruit, which is cool because it provides nutrients and food for them. But the berries taste awful to humans. I would not recommend. As you can see, on the bottom right corner, there is a picture of the berries. They're pretty small and spongy and gross, and they do not taste good. They're mainly seeds, not a lot of flesh, very bitter, would not recommend. And then on the left bottom corner, you can see a picture of a street with a bunch of Bradford pear trees, and you can see all the white flowers. So why does this tree suck? So it sounds like a pretty good tree, right? The blossoms on the tree smell like rotting fish, which can make public areas like parks unpleasant. The smell is overpowering and stomach churning too, making spring air disgusting and something you don't want to be around. It's awful and just ruins everything. It just ruins spring. So you can see here the picture of the flowers are pretty, but it smells like dead fish. Okay, so it stinks. It stinks. Is that all? No. It cross-pollinates with other pear varieties, and the cross-species pears have long thorns and can outcompete native plants. The birds eat the berries of the Bradford pear trees and the cross-species pear, making it spread more. You can see these giant thorns about 2 to 3 inches long sometimes. Very, very bad. If you want to climb trees around the forest and you get poked or scratched by that, it's going to be awful. And then it's also a very weak tree. It's very susceptible to breakage, so in places like the Midwest where you get a lot of snow and ice storms, your tree will just fall apart. It's very bad. The fallen branches can cause damage to property, like your house. It could fall on your car, it could fall on your lawn, and it's just unnecessary damage that does not need to happen. And it could even it could fall on your kid, your child, or your pets, or your neighbors, or just it's not good. And then how does cross-pollinating work? So cross-pollination, if you don't understand, I'll explain. So when 2 different plants of a different species mix, it's called cross-pollination. The fruit of the original plant will remain the same, but the seeds will be altered. The trees can only cross-pollinate with their respective groups, like apples and stone fruit being peaches, cherries, almonds, stuff like that. For example, if a plum and a peach cross-pollinate, the pollen coming from the peach, which is male, and the flower is female, the plum flower with the ovaries, the plum tree will grow a plum fruit, but the seed will grow into a mix, just like how your biological father did not alter your biological mom's DNA, both your parents' DNA mixed into you. Same thing for trees. So you have a little diagram of how cross-pollination works with little insects carrying the pollen, and it goes through the plant and creates fruit and seeds. And so what can you do? Well, just telling other people about Bradford pear trees can help. Planting native trees will help birds, insects, and animals. It provides them with shelter and food. Since the trees are native and have adapted to wherever you live, I'm in Wisconsin, so it's adapted to a Wisconsin climate, they will have a better chance of surviving. Since these trees are native, so they've adapted to our region, and they won't need much maintenance or fertilizer. Native trees are part of the local ecosystem, so they won't spread or they won't take over and spread out of check. So there's always something that'll keep them in check from overpopulating. So an example of a native plant, it's the coneflower. The coneflower is a beautiful example of native plants. The flowers attract pollinators like butterflies and bees. The birds, like golden finches, eat the seeds after they mature. Since the flower is native, it's low maintenance and grows back each year. Coneflowers are hardy, meaning they can survive droughts and cold winters commonly seen in the Midwest, like again seen in Wisconsin, where I am. Sadly, these beautiful plants are marked as endangered, but by planting more, you can do your part and help the ecosystem. So, in conclusion, destroy this tree. It's awful. It should not be here. It's stinky. Nobody loves it. So, there are so many native trees that could easily replace this nasty invader. Serviceberries, dogwoods, cherries, tulip trees, and prairie crabapples are just a few of the many flowering trees that are native to Wisconsin. Serviceberries and crabapples provide berries for birds, chipmunks, and squirrels. And if we work together, we can end the calamity of the Bradford pear. So you can see here are some serviceberry flowers in the bottom left corner, and then in the middle, to the right of the serviceberries, are some prairie crabapple flowers with beautiful pink flowers. And then we have a tulip tree. It's very stunning flowers, very beautiful. And here are my sources. And if you want to find about more native trees, you can just search your area, and on like Google or something, search your area, search about this native plants, and you can learn more about your like ecosystem. You can do your part and help your society and take away invaders like invasive plants. So, in all, if we work together, we can get rid of this tree and replace it with better trees that are native and help our environment.